Hello, how's everybody doing today? Great. I love that enthusiasm. So, my name's Tom Blute. Those of you who don't know me, I'm the events manager here at Interabang Books, and I'm delighted that everybody has come out tonight. We're going to have a great time. Vicky's fantastic and wonderful, and we're so excited to have her here. Right? Y'all are my crowd. That's where we're at. I like it. Okay. I want to let people know, in case this is the first time here, or you've never heard my spiel before, every week I do 3 to 4 or 5 of these events. Not as great as Vicky, but my authors do come, they want to be here, they're interesting. So if you'd like to learn more about my events, I've got a calendar at the counter that you can pick up, put on your refrigerator, and look at all the time, because it's great, it's wonderful. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We've got an email sign-up sheet, which if you'd like it, we're at interabangbooks.com. We have all the many, many ways to tell you about our big, great, and wonderful books that we want you to come enjoy, buy, and share with your friends and say, oh, by the way, you need to read Vicky's book. Like, come on, what are you doing with your life? So we've got books for sale at the counter. If you want this bookstore to be here and this sort of community to exist, please support us. Buy a book. It helps Vicky too, which, you know, big fans, let's be honest. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the lady of the hour, Vicky Skinner.
Nice to see all of you. So I'm not going to talk at you too much because this is a party and not a lecture. But I want to show you the books in case you haven't seen it, in case you haven't gotten your copy yet. A lot of you guys actually were in my life when I wrote this book. I wrote it in 2013, and in the midst of emotional upheaval, and the story behind it is it's such a bummer that my publisher actually asked me to write an article about the inspiration and then refused to put it on the website because it was too sad. So people are always asking me like, oh, what inspired that? You don't want to know. And you don't want to choose. So I'm actually going to have my mom, you guys know my mom, she's going to tell you a little bit about the book and she's going to read for you because she reads better than I do. So.
Yeah.
Do a little plug for Interabang too. There, see those yellow cups up there? They are so cute. They say WTF, where's the fiction? So they're really cute. I love them. So buy them. Okay, so this is Vicky's second book, and we are the ghosts, and this is the story of Ellie and Luke. They are brother and sister, and Luke is dead. We learned that on the very first page. So Luke is dead, and this is Ellie's story with her friends, the road trip, and her trying to understand what happened and why he did that. So, or, you know, what happened to him. Okay, so I'm going to read the first few pages. 1. I have a sex dream about James Dean the night I find out my brother is dead. I watched Rebel without a cause before bed, hours before my mother woke me in a panic. And it's all I can think about while she tells me Luke's Mazda slid on a wet road, taking him right off the side of a bridge somewhere in Michigan. I stare down at the dining room table, unsure of what to do. I want to tell my parents that they can't be saying this to me right now because it's the middle of the night and I have to work in the morning. Instead of telling them this, I think about James Dean. I think of him in my mind yelling, "You're tearing me apart!" Instead of my mother telling me that someone from the police station in Ann Arbor called her an hour ago after they found Luke's car upside down in the Huron River. Ellie, are you okay? Later, when I think back to this moment, I'll focus on the fact that neither of my parents are crying. Shouldn't they be blubbering? Shouldn't they be crawling over each other to get to me, the only child they have left? It feels like it should be that way, like pictures of parents when they found out their children went away to war and never come back. But my parents aren't crying. My father is staring down at the table, his eyes wide and unfocused, like he's not actually seeing anything, and my mother is just staring at me. What is she waiting for? They're not touching each other. My mother sits with her hands in her lap while my father keeps his arms on the tabletop. Neither of them reaches for me. Ellie? I know my mother is asking me a question, but I can't see her anymore, or hear her. My world goes fuzzy, and I stand up from the table, holding my stomach because I suddenly feel like all my insides are going to come spilling out until I'm nothing but a lumpy mess on the carpet. My brother's body is lying on a slab in a morgue in Ann Arbor. I imagine it as I walk away from the table, his skin cold and pale, the way they always portray it on TV. His chest cut open down the middle so that someone can do an autopsy. Maybe this is really how it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't really know. According to my mother, it's pretty clear that his tires slipped on the wet road, so I don't think they'd even do an autopsy. Luke never drove in storms. After that time he skidded on his way to school and ended up facing oncoming traffic, he did everything he could to avoid it. I want to tell her she's mistaken, that he slid off that bridge by some kind of bystander dove in after him, pulling him free and performing mouth to mouth on the edge of the highway. But that isn't what happened. No one saved Luke. Luke is gone. Luke is dead. I'm chanting it over and over in my head as I move down the hallway toward the bathroom. I don't make it all the way there. I throw up on the carpet outside of my parents' bedroom.
It's not that kind of book. And just in case you're wondering, it's not a ghost story. It's not about ghosts. It's we are the metaphorical ghosts, is what I call it. I forgot to do the game thing, so I was supposed to do that first, but I'm gonna do it now. So we're gonna. If you got to, I know it's very awkward, but if you got to play the game,
Let me give you, tell you whose initials they all are.
oh, did you pick them already?
No, but you want me, can you figure out the initials? Yeah.
Well, Gary won one.
Gary Bowles.
Gary Bowles. You pick a prize.
Sucks.
Okay. I think there's some cheating going on. We have 3 fluids that have won. We have, gosh, seriously.
All of them are
The
Chris?
smartest kids in the room, Will, Hudson, and Joshua.
What?
Straight up, you guys come to Sarah was like tied with Josh, but I'm sure you understand. Hey, guys, you can share it. You can share it.
Here's Joshua and some stickers. No, he wants the hot dog. Oh, he threw his stickers.
Sorry, guys. No one loves Dallas.
No.
I understand, guys. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, I'll answer questions. Otherwise, we can go ahead and start signing and mingling and partying and eating cupcakes.
Okay. Can you kind of tell us what the inspiration of the book was, kind of, without going into too much detail?
Sure.
Okay.
Since the person who the book is about is not currently in this room, it's not a problem.
Okay.
So in 2013, 2 things happened. I had a friend die in a car accident, and then I had a falling out with someone in my life I was very close with. And all of that sort of, this is my anger and sadness novel, and I wrote about that year. Nothing in the book is true, I promise, but except the emotions. So that's
Except
where
that car skidding.
Oh, good. That's not how it happened, but yeah, obviously someone does die in a car accident.
No, the beginning where I read.
Oh, yeah, at the beginning when she says that he doesn't drive in the rain because he ended up facing oncoming traffic. That happened to me once, and I don't drive in the rain because of it if I don't have to. So it's really depressing. But I could go into like happy times.
Okay.
It's happy until you read it. Sorry, it's a very sad book. There's nothing I can do about that. The next one's a rom-com. So 2020
What's a rom-com?
romantic comedy.
Comedy, okay.
Okay, well, if there are no more questions, then I want to. Okay.
When did you start writing this book, and how long did it take?
Well, I wrote it in 2013, and I wrote it for National Novel Writing Month, so I did it in 30 days. But that's just the first draft, and it has literally taken me until last year doing the rewrites and the revisions and the edits, and so roughly 5 years. Yes.
So there's a group in the book.
There's a musical group.
There's a musical group in the book called Nova.
Yes.
So when this book turns into a movie, who are you going to have play Jack, the lead singer of Nova?
I don't get to make that decision.
Who would you like to have?
No.
Anyone.
So I'll part of this question, so when I originally wrote the lead singer of Nova, his name is Jack Olson. He was based on Adam Levine, but now he's not really Adam Levine anymore. So who's like a scruffy pop singer?
So I said Rick Springfield would be.
Yeah, Rick Springfield's
he's
too old. he's like in his early 30s. So I don't know. I'm not good at casting. What?
James Arthur.
Oh, you know, I'm good with that. He's a little too young, but James Arthur's pretty cool. But it's like a rock band.